So recently I made a community post asking for your guys' Toy Story 5 predictions, and honestly I got a lot of great ones. So today I picked 5 of the most interesting ones in my opinion to talk about. Alright, so let's get into it. The first prediction says, I think unlike the other movies, most of the movie will be spent at Bonnie's house rather than somewhere else. Now, at first I actually thought this too. But after seeing the trailer, I'm not really sure anymore, because we clearly see Bonnie leaving her house to go to her friend's place, we also see Woody and Bo at the carnival again, and we do see that Jessie and Bullseye somehow leave Bonnie's house and goes to another kid's house, and that's where she meets Smarty Pants, Atlas, and Snappy, all the new characters. My theory is that Bonnie gives them away, but we're not really sure. Also, we saw that really cool scene of Jessie and a few of the other characters riding different horses outside in like a shopping mall area, which was really cool. So I don't think most of the movie will take place only in Bonnie's house. I do think they will leave, and I do think it will be like an adventure movie like all the other movies have been. Next prediction says, all of Bonnie's toys will end up getting given away or thrown out, despite their best efforts to outsmart Lilypad. And they all end up in the possession of Andy, who will hold on to them all for old time's sake. Okay, so let's start with the first part. I don't think this movie will end with Bonnie getting rid of the toys, but I do think that might happen in the middle of the movie, where Bonnie likes Lilypad more, so she either, like I think, gets rid of Jessie and Bullseye and gives them away, and then we also see the other toys in a box in a garage. I don't know if Bonnie puts them in the box or if her parents do, but we know that in the middle of the movie, she will probably try to get rid of them. But I think towards the end, she will realize that she can play with tech and toys together at the same time, and she needs to find that balance between the two. And as for Andy returning, I personally don't think he will be back in Toy Story 5. Now, could he return in future Toy Story films, like 6 or 7? Honestly, yes. I think this is very possible, but in this movie, I really don't think it will happen. Next prediction says, I think that Lotso will return and team up with Lilypad to get revenge on Woody, Jessie, Buzz, and the others, and reveal that he planned this all along. Now, this is an interesting one because I already made a video talking a little bit about this and how I actually thought something like this could happen and that Lotso could return. But now, after seeing the trailer, I don't think so. The only reason why I thought Lotso was back, because he was in some Toy Story 5 merchandise in Brazil. Now, he is such a popular character, that's probably why he was in the merch. And after really thinking about it, I just can't see him returning in this film. Now, would it be cool and epic? Yeah, it would probably be cool and epic to see him back, but does he need to be back? I don't think so, and would I like to see him back? That's a fine line to walk on because you can either do it really good or really bad depending on the execution. It would definitely be a crazy twist if they added him in this movie, but I just don't see it happening. Next prediction says, well, hear this. What if somehow Stinky Pete comes back after getting a makeover of Amy, the girl with the Barbie backpack, and is also on that farm meeting Woody and Jessie there, with this line saying, well, look what you've done to me. You see, this is what happens if kids play with us. They destroy us. This would be mind-blowing. Or what if he's thrown away and is found by the garbage man in Toy Story 3 and is tied to the truck where he meets Lotso? Honestly, this would be actually really interesting. We know that Jessie and Bullseye will end up at Blaze's house, which is on a farm. This girl loves animals, so somehow if she's seen Stinky Pete and collected him, that would be very interesting. And I think Stinky Pete has a better chance of returning than Lotso because he fits into the Jessie storyline because Toy Story 5 is all about Jessie. I think that would be exactly what he would say if he did see Woody and Jessie again because he was not happy to go with that little girl at the end of Toy Story 2. Now, him teaming up with Lotso, I don't think that will happen. That is a bit of a stretch. I really could see Stinky Pete returning, and I think that would be really cool. And finally, we have the last prediction from someone who I have to thank, because he's where I get all my early info for Toy Story 5 on X. So thank you. And this one is really interesting. So it's also kind of a long prediction, so let's start with the first part. I'm going to have to kind of simplify my prediction from recently to prevent possible spoilers for those who haven't seen my community post. But I still want to get it out to more people, so anyways. I know Woody's baldness could just be a joke. I tried to find a logical reason for it to fit into the storyline. So his arc might focus this time on his worth/value as a person, instead of as a toy as seen in Toy Story 2. Especially now that he's aging and turning bald, gaining the mockery of his friends and foes. So at some point, he must start to feel worthless with no value, finding his condition as the culprit. I actually really like this idea, because if Woody returns to Bonnie's house and hears all the other toys mocking him, especially Lilypad and some of his friends, it could definitely make him realize, wow, I'm really old, I'm balding, I'm not as I used to be. And I think this would be a perfect character arc for Woody in this movie. I'm happy that they're adding this, that he's getting old and that he's balding, because this franchise has been around for 30 years. And I like that they're still showing the aging between the humans and the toys, because toys don't last forever. I'm like that they're showing the wear and tear on all of these older toys, and I think that's really interesting. And I would love to see his struggle with finding his worth and value in this movie. I think it could be really interesting. Then the next part of his prediction, it says, and so this is where Snappy enters in, as her excitable personality could perfectly fit in with the fact that she could be a big fan/admirer of Woody, or maybe even have a celebrity crush on him, where such personality could show Woody that he's still more valuable/worth than he thinks, when someone else can truly see the who as a person in him rather than the what as a bald 50s old toy subject to mockery. I love this, because if you don't know who Snappy is, she is a new character entering for Toy Story 5. And I think this could be really interesting, that we could see a super fan or someone that looks up to Woody in this movie, because we really haven't seen a fan of Woody since Toy Story 2. And I mean a fan of Woody's Roundup, because he was on Woody's Roundup, and so he did have a TV show, so it would make sense that he would have some fans. And I really can't think of any moment that we really seen it after Toy Story 2. I would love to see a character that admires him and that's watched Woody's Roundup. And I think Snappy having a crush on him is kind of funny. And I think this would give Woody the confidence to overcome a main challenge in the movie. Maybe his self-doubt about his worth and value will play a part and make him feel like he can't do something in the movie, and then Snappy will help him overcome that, because she shows him that he's worth something, that he can do something even though he may be old. So what are your Toy Story 5 predictions? Comment down below, and you may be featured in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest Toy Story 5 news.